everybody. I'm going to try something that I've never done before, which is making a lesson video. Really, it's kind of an easy, kind of a cheater way to solo without knowing a lot of, in-depth music theory, pattern-based. When I was learning, there wasn't the internet. There weren't a million sources to show you how to do, what makes a guitar player sound good and not sound out of key. There wasn't a lot of theory resources other than books and things, and I always struggled with it. Bought a few books, tried it. It didn't sink in. It didn't click. So to me, I ended up feeling my way in the dark a bit, kind of stumbling through some things and finding what worked for me. I think in a way it's a blessing. You can discover things that way rather than have them like implanted in your brain. There's a joy to that when you find something that works and you kind of in your own way understand why it works. It's more joyful and meaningful to me when I discover something that way rather than just having it be part of a recipe. There's Jiddu Krishnamurti is a thinker who I like to read and I like his approach to things. And he said, if you're planning to travel a long distance or climb a great height, it's best to travel lightly. And what he meant by that is it's better to go into a journey of discovery without having a lot of preconceived notions. So that's how I, found my way into a lot of the things that I do now that let me just explore musically. So I can throw on a jam track or whatever and just play to it. Now a lot of people do that because they know exactly what they're doing. It's a thought process. For me, it's a lot more muscle memory and really it's kind of pattern based. The thing I'm going to show you today is just a pattern. So this is the pattern that I'm talking about. It's basically, so you need to know, that the distance from here to here is a whole step, and from here to here is a half step. So as long as you understand that, there's basically three of these patterns. You've got whole step on top with a half step on the bottom. You've got whole step on top with a whole step on the bottom. And you got half step on top with a whole step on the bottom. So these repeat in a particular order. Now this is kind of box style playing. So when I say you're in a box, it means you're just kind of playing right around here. And it does limit you if you're not careful. You can get in a bad habit because you don't move up and down the neck as smoothly, or you just get in a habit of playing in these boxes. It's not great, but if you just want to have fun and you're looking for kind of a shortcut, it'll get you there fast if you can remember this. So let's say the pattern starts with a whole step on top, half step on the bottom. Assuming this is the first of them, there will be a second. So this pattern comes in twos. It's followed by a whole step on top, whole step on bottom, and those come in threes. And then that one is followed by a half step on top, whole step on bottom. And if we had one more string, it would be the same here because that one comes in a two also. So we got 2, 3, 2. Now you can that's the idea. Let's say you start with 3. Whole step on top. And then you got 2, because it's always followed by the half step on top. And then it would, be followed by half step on the bottom. So you got, and there would be another half step on bottom here, assuming you had another string. I like 7-string guitars because then the whole pattern plays out throughout the whole, across the neck. So let's say you're starting with a whole step on top. You've got, so more slowly, here's the second of that pattern. That pattern is always followed by this pattern. And there's always 3 of them. And then the next one is, now when you go half step on top, you have to, first there's an adjustment for the B string where you slide up one, and when you're coming off the whole step on top to the half step on the bottom, you jump up a fret. And let's say you're starting with the half step on top. So you've got the same thing. Half step on top is followed by half step on bottom. Whole step on top is followed by 2 whole steps. It's constant. So as long as you can follow that, as long as you can find your way and go, okay, I like, and you're playing along with the song and that all sounds in key, then you know where you can go. So it's really, takes you maybe 10, 15 seconds to noodle around and hit a few bad notes, and then you know where you are, and then you can stay there. And once you're there, you can kind of, over time, figure out how this pattern fits in with that pattern, fits in with, it just starts to fall into place up and down the neck. This box with this box with this box. That comes with a little more time. I would suggest practicing going, move up and down the neck, come up with some other exercises. But how much time do you have? Where do you want to get? If you want to really nail it, you got to learn your theory. If you want to be able to just sit down and enjoy yourself and just express yourself, that's kind of always been what I wanted to do. This will get you there. This will let you, play in key, solo over the top of something, and you don't have to know, okay, I'm an A minor, I'm going to play a Mixolydian mode. You can learn those things later. I've layered some of that on top of my understanding, but it hasn't been an easy process for me. So this has worked for me. So I hope that's helpful. I don't know. It's what I use, more or less. I mean, I've been playing for 35 years. So I've picked up theory. I've come to understand how things fit. I still don't have a real good solid grasp of it. I just kind of know what things are called that I already was doing a little bit more. And yeah, it's a little lazy. It's I can definitely see people out there that are going to slam me for not just doing my homework and getting to know this stuff. But for whatever, there are certain things in my life that I just don't grasp as easily as I would think I should. I don't think I'm dumb. They just don't come to me naturally. I resist them. And for some reason, music theory was one of those. And this was how I got around it. And I really think there is joy and the feeling of discovering, hey, that sounded awesome. What did I do there? And then learning it on your own. I think I've stumbled into some things that I probably never would have tried if I would have just stuck to knowing theory. Of course, I have a bias. I want to think that this way has some good benefits that the other, more appropriate way doesn't. But I do think it's true. And, if you're just looking to, you just want to play guitar, you're not trying to make a career out of it, you're not trying to be, blow everybody's mind, you just want to sit down and say, hey, I want to sound good, I want to sound in key, I don't want to have bad notes all over the place, what can I do? This pattern, if you can remember it, will get you there, or a long way of there. And hope this is helpful to someone. All right, thanks.